Hey, I'll just browse around until the official hour. You're welcome. Okay, time to get started. So I'll start with a recap of last week and what I predicted initially. So I thought we would go to 3900 and overshoot it a bit. It didn't happen. We stopped on the 200 MA, had a close below it, or no, not a close. We opened below it and then bounced up, took back the 50, and kept on rallying. We're almost back at the 20 MA. So bias is bullish, but I think we get one more red day on Monday for like a hedge for J Powell talking and jolts on Wednesday. It might close red, it might not, but for sure, like we're gonna have at least a 50% retracement of this candle, like potentially even retest the 50. It depends on where we open, and might see another crypto dump over the weekend. Like things are starting to build towards it. This is Bitcoin, but not Matic is at the lows. It's building towards like another leg down for crypto, and that might get us a gap down on Monday and potentially go as low as the 50 MA, and then bounce. Like I don't think we close there. I think we see either a dip buy or a shallow pullback, not that big. So let's go back to SPY. Most likely 400 will hold. So the we go to here and we close here. But if we got gap down and open around mid candle, we can go like this and then close a bit higher later, or even go back up and test the 20. But that's kind of irrelevant. The overall idea is that we're back to bullish. Uh, this will this has a chance to happen at least. I'll go into details a bit later, but I still think it's a bear market rally and a blow off top kind of move, and we won't be. It's not yet a bull market. So I've been looking at it all day. It's a strange place with lots of possibilities. Let's take a look on US 500 because it's where I did the analysis. So first of all, we look at our ranges. These are the sorry the month. This is the monthly range for February. Uh, high, mid, low. Then we have the January monthly ranges, high, mid, low, and then the quarterly ranges, high, mid, low. We go back on the daily, we see that we bounced on the what are you referring to? The support levels. Like it's kind of the highs and lows of previous candles, and the biggest level is 50%, is what the support resistance levels are. And you can see like they get reinforced multiple times. If I extend this one, it was this, this area already consolidated, then it was this high, then it was another consolidation area, then we had this bounce here. So because they exist and because people trade by them, they work. There's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like I know we had a bounce here, then we go up and we go down, and then I know this is a level that was a support beforehand, and I bet that it will reject here. And because I bet it will reject here, it makes it reject, because I don't mean I mean like people in general. And if a sufficient amount of people bet that it will reject here, it will actually reject here, or like here. Because it's an important level, a lot of people bet that it will bounce here. They started buying, and lo and behold, it bounced from this level. So these are very important levels. But they work because people think they work. Okay, so coming back to here, so these are our ranges. One thing to note here is we are close to the 50% level on here on the February candle, and we did an outside candle first. So this could become an engulf if we get above this. A very high chance it will become an engulfing candle and go and take out this high. So above 4195, above 4195. So yeah, that's kind of the situation here. For now, it's a textbook bounce. So it was on the 50% from January. It was on the lows from February, and it was what? Not this one, the other one. This one. So if we do a Fibonacci from top to bottom of this range, it was a 61.8 bounce. On top of this, we have this trend line. Apparently it was the good trend line, not this one. So this was from the bottom of the week until the top. We lost this one. So it's still a relevant trend line, but not as relevant as the other one. So we're gonna keep this one as the main one. And we didn't quite retest the bear market trend line, but we came close, so it counts. And we have this parallel channel going on, which we broke out of. So this was on a lower time frame, and on Friday we actually broke out above it. So the target, if this holds, is to double it. We double it, we extend it a bit, and let's say we backtest, go to 4,000, as low as 4,000. Monday, yeah, something like this. So we go to 402 actually, we bounce, and then we start going up, and we have another leg up. We should hit it around 9 on 10 or 10th, and it will be 414, something like this. So this is the short-term target. So going back to it, uh, I lost my trail of thought. Going back to the daily, sorry. I'm putting this on. So let's say we go up, we maybe go to a combo of the 50% level and the 20 MA. We overshoot the 20 MA. We get a rejection, we go down, maybe as low as the 50 MA, like I said. Then we bounce up, and that's the real entry. The real entry is around between this and this. If you are bullish, don't go in now. Wait for a pullback because there will be one. And why will there be one? Because there always is. What we want to see is a retest of VWAP from the lows here. So this is the VWAP. Right now it's 39.73. It will continue to go up as time passes. But similar to this, come on, I'm misclicking stuff. So VWAP test, this overshot it, then VWAP test, and we stayed above it for a while. This kind of the same situation, or actually let's do it from the beginning of the move. Yeah, this one works well. So test another shoot a bit. Then when it held, it stayed above, and it was a support later on. It also works from tops. We can try it from here, and we're almost at VWAP. It's 50% as well. So this area here is gonna almost 100% reject us once we go above the 20. And we can also do it from the beginning of the move, which was around here. And you can see that when the downtrend lasted, we stayed below it, and on Friday we actually went above it. So we could consider this to be something like this as well, to be our entry. Come on, when it does this, because this one will continue going up as well. Maybe not as fast, and maybe it overshoots a bit. So it does. Come on, man. I'm misclicking stuff a lot. It goes this, then it goes down, corrects, overshoots a bit, and then it goes up. This area here is the entry. Okay, so going back to the macro stuff, how high do we go? So there's a lot of channels going on now, and I honestly don't know which one is real, or they're all real, but which one will be relevant. So one we can do is this, and this would give us, let's put the target at on the 31st, because that's where I think a move up ends if we continue going up. And let's say we go up until then, it's 4400. That seems virtually impossible. So most likely this is not the good channel. So if this is not the good channel, what is? We close it. So we have two highs and one low. So if we do this, then let's assume we assume that the lows are the solid thing, but maybe the lows aren't the solid thing, the solid levels. So maybe we do this now. And it could be like this, or it could be like this. Regardless, we don't care about the lows right now, we care about the highs. So get back on the 31st. And how high can we go? We go to 42.5-ish, something like that. This seems a lot more plausible. Even this is a bit stretched, but it's more plausible than going to 4400. That actually seems impossible. Okay, do we have any other evidence that this could be the real channel? Well, let's see. We have the extended line on the very large time frame. So this is the broadening formation from here, sorry, to here. This was a broadening formation which predicted the crash target. So if you did this line when we crashed in March 2020, this would have been a support level. And then we broke out of this on the upside on the recovery, and now we are staying below it. So this says that we won't touch it, but it's possible to overshoot a bit and still get back into it afterwards, like do something. Maybe we don't go to the high. Maybe we do something like this and then go back down again. This is still possible. Or plus the wicks are complicated, so maybe it's not exactly like that. Maybe something like this, and it ignored the wicks. The way I draw the channels, I try to align the midpoint to something. So I align the highs and the lows first, but if the midpoints are not aligned, it's probably not a good channel. And with this version, so let's say I go up down to here, the midpoint is sort of aligned because we have this low, we have this low, we have this attempt to go higher which was rejected, we have this rejection here as well, we have this one here as well. So this one seems a lot better as a channel target uh, to the way it will play out in reality. And if we do this now, it's sort of around the same level. So 420 is kind of our target. Maybe we get a bit of an overshoot, but that's kind of it. But it won't be a straight line up because it simply can't. And I'll go into it a bit later. Another possible channel is this. And this one also sort of aligns with the other one. So this area from 450 to 15 to 420 is kind of our target, and if we can fill the gap that we have on SPY, that's the big short. Let's clean it up again. Hope that makes sense a bit. So this one we need to hide. Yeah, that's kind of it. So to put it all together for SPY, and we go the lower time frame, is very high chance that we see a pullback on Monday. Both because we are very, very overextended. Like if we look at RSI alone, this is the hourly RSI. We're we haven't been this high for a while, and when we were this high, there was a pullback, and not just like a small pullback like we went to here. As you can see, every time we hit this range here above 80, we had a very big drop in hourly RSI, which usually means a big drop in price as well. Plus, look at the way this looks. This is how it looks here. This is how it looks here. Very similar, right? How it looks here. Like we have one leg up, another huge leg up. And these are always followed by a drop, especially if it continues. So like I said a bit earlier, if we go to the 50% level from uh, February, expect a rejection. It's also a bit of above the 20 MA. So on Monday, if we not gap up, if we spike up on open, most likely it's gonna get sold. And similar to this, the target is the VWAP. What did I do? See, like it goes up, it gets rejected at some point, and then it goes to VWAP. So our VWAP is at the moment 49.78, but it will continue going up. So most likely it's going to be above 4,000, so something like this. It also lines with the horizontal support and 4,000 psychological level. So Monday, maybe shoot up, maybe open lower. I have no idea. It depends on the gods of macro and whatever. But at some point we will retest 4,000, and if it's truly bullish, we will bounce and go continue going up. The main reason why I think we continue going up is because of individual stocks. So let's take a look at everything basically. And I'll go over all the stuff I uh, analyzed last time as well. This is Tesla. So last time I said we'll bounce here and then go up. We didn't quite do that. If we were to go lower, I thought we would go to this support zone here, to this demand zone. Again, we didn't go that low. So it's still a horizontal level, but it's a bit higher. I don't see it breaking out yet, or maybe not even at all. But it's not bearish. Yes, it's still possible to play out, but a lot less likely, I think. I'll explain when we get to the delta thing. So this is kind of the setup for Tesla. I don't think it will go up yet. It should do a bit more of this until it breaks out and does this. If we continue to be bullish, but this is a good consolidation here. It's a falling wedge basically, or a bull flag, whatever you want to call it, uh, and eventually it should go up. Apple went a bit lower than I thought as well. Actually, not as well, because this one went lower than I thought, and Tesla didn't. But we had a nice bounce, and then follow up with higher volume, higher than average volume on Friday. It was a 3.51 day, which is above a decent day for Apple. I think it goes higher as well, but again, not before it consolidates here a bit more. So this is kind of the big level to take out. If it's able to take out this level, it can do this thing as well, but I don't think it's ready quite yet. It closed at 151. It should retest 150, and then if it's bullish, continue going higher, test this, maybe do a bit more of this for 1 to 2 days, and then it goes up if it does. But this kind of a buy signal day because of the volume. It's above average in size for Apple, and the high volume spike maybe leads to continuation. Nvidia, this was before earnings. We had the bad earnings and good earnings scenario. It had a good earnings reaction. Not necessarily, the earnings don't matter that much. And now we're back in this scenario. Initially, I didn't think it could go up uh, beyond this high, but it still has a bit of room in RSI. I don't think it will go to the top of the channel, this one. It should stop at max here to 45. So let's say 250. Let's call it 250 because it's psychological level. I'll move it a bit lower. So 250. This is kind of the max for Nvidia. And notice that Nvidia didn't have a spike in volume. It, it it's much weaker than Apple from that perspective. It had a much bigger run. It had a smaller pullback, and technically speaking, it's a lot more overextended. So I think Nvidia will be a short at 250, regardless of how bullish we are uh, until the end of the month. I think it will underperform. There are much better names in semis than Nvidia to get at this point. Google. Google had a buy day. This is expanding volume, but not that big either. Uh, it it's probably the most oversold of the big five names, and I think it should continue going up. But it needs a pullback as well, a small one. So do this, get a rejection, maybe spend 1 day or 2 days in consolidation below this or slightly above it, and then it will continue going up. Microsoft kind of the same thing. It also had a spike in volume on Friday, so this is a good sign and the return of the bull case for Microsoft. Amazon, same thing, but not that big of a volume. Amazon, I don't like because it's super overvalued from a fundamentals perspective. So you're much better off buying Microsoft or Apple or or Google or Nvidia. No, but Facebook, Netflix are much better than Amazon from a fundamentals perspective. Meta was the first one to curl back up, so we had this falling wedge kind of situation. And it started bouncing on Tuesday. Uh, and on Friday it was a very bullish day for Meta. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of room for it. It was that oversold. This was 200 will be a big level. If it passes that, maybe even gets to 222. Let's see 200 first. So Netflix has this channel. It also went a bit lower. Initially, I had drawn an ascending wedge. I think like this. I made it into a channel. We reached the bottom. Uh, we had a small buy trigger. I like Netflix because it hasn't moved up yet. That might seem strange, but more room to go up. And I think it reaches the high at least. It could be a bit higher, but I wouldn't be too optimistic about it. But between all of this, I like Netflix the most because it's right at support. It has an easy invalidation if it breaks below this because it will probably start to break down. Even if it goes below it, it most likely will backtest this level and you can still get out. So I like Netflix the most from a TA perspective. It has much cleaner levels, it has clear targets and so on. Then we look at commodities. So for me, I'm gonna assume you guys are familiar with the big flip thesis and how it's partially played out because of yields going higher. But for me, it hasn't really the part of big flip that says inflation is coming back up or has already come back up is not real yet because the current uh, resurgence in inflation is not a resurgence, it's just continuation. So inflation started going down, services hasn't gone down at all. It's just the part of the cycle where service inflation is the main force in the CPI reading. But we haven't really gotten a resurgence because it never really went down. The resurgence will happen when energy goes up. And lo and behold, what is happening here? Oil is breaking out. And I talked about this as well previously on the monthly about this pattern of bottom weeks, which is a very bullish setup. It will do this. And on Friday, it broke out of the downtrend. Uh, if we go back to the monthly, The trigger is when it takes out the highs of the previous candles. So the first test is going to be 8062. Then we go to 8266, which is confluent with this. So I'm going to call this to the same level. And this one is a bump in the road. This is as good as taken out. But once we break out of this, you see that there is nothing left until a lot higher. So the next level is this, 93.74. So it's gonna be a grind to get above here, but once we get above here, it's gonna shoot up like crazy. And this will be the actual trigger for the big flip. The big flip means inflation is coming back. What is happening now is inflation never left. But when oil starts going up again, inflation will be coming back up. And it will take probably 2 months for this to be, become visible to the naked eye and start worrying people. This breakout is the beginning. Like I said, it's gonna be a slow grind up here. Maybe goes, sorry, maybe even gets rejected again. I goes here, back test the breakout, goes back up, tries to go up. It doesn't. But when it does, it's gonna do this. A lot, maybe lower, but you get the idea. When it does, it's gonna be like this until 93. And if 93 breaks, next level, what's the next level? 98, and next level 111. This will probably take some consolidation, meaning wait, this area here is gonna be more choppy. This could be weeks, this could be a couple more months, but eventually it will do this as well. Okay, so let's continue looking at the, the things from last time. So Johnson & Johnson. This was supposed to bounce, same as CVS, but it didn't. I honestly don't get how the fuck these things are so weak. Uh, XLV, which one is healthcare? I don't remember. XLK, no. Biotech, healthcare. Healthcare bounced. I'm assuming it's UHF or something. Pfizer bounced, although it also had that last drop down. But the idea is that healthcare probably bounced. It's not gonna be a rocket up. Might still do this, but it should slowly go back up to retest this level. So this stays the same, but it moves here. Boeing is pretty crazy. Did not see this coming at all, like this resurgence. This one was optional. I thought it would break down. It did this here, back tested, dropped lower. Again, thought it would at least fill this gap here and go here. Apparently it didn't, but it's still highly divergent. So it's respecting the uh, trend line from RSI and it's at the top. I would be kind of surprised to see it continue going up. So I kind of expect to see a rejection here and start building some sort of uh, pennant like this, and let's say this for now. And if in the end it will be bullish, it should become bullish after consolidating and then breaking out here. My target remains for it to get here. So I think it will do this, but eventually break down and then maybe bounce from this area, the 185, 190. Caterpillar doing what it's supposed to do. It went a bit lower, backtested this breakout trend line, and now it's going higher. I think it breaks out and does what I said initially, meaning goes to 88 to 90. AEX, a situation similar to Boeing, but it has more room to go up. It can potentially retest the highs before turning back down again. DAX, same situation. We have this rising wedge, or the two rising wedges. It can potentially retest the highs and then go back down. I have no idea when the breakdown will actually happen because they're absurdly strong on with no reason to be strong. Netflix we talked about, Nvidia we talked about, Baidu. So Baidu was at a decision point. It broke down. It didn't go that as low as I thought it would. Might still get a rejection here on the backtest. So I see a backtest here. Could potentially do this and then bounce, but could just as easily just move through it back. I think there's a CCP Congress thing over the weekend, and Chinese stock might move on Monday because of that, depending on the outcome. So this one is out, and could see this, sorry, or could even see this. Dow bounced on this level, thought it would go lower. I still kind of see it as weak. This could be like Head and Shoulders. I don't like how low RSI is, so I think it's kept at retesting the highs here for now, but it could just as easily go back down here and eventually retest this area, and only after that it becomes bullish. BTI behaving within expectations. Still think it follows this path more or less. The fuck? Race is defying gravity. Sort of had a breakdown. The upper scenario move like this. Seems plausible. Enphase had a breakout of the downtrend, so this is quite bullish. Still also possible to go back down, retest, and entry for a longer term play would be on when it takes back this 217 level. It does this. So something like this, but no, not really. BAC had that weekly breakout attempt. Have to hide stuff. So it got rejected. It's back below now. And just going sideways. This is bullish. Considering it hasn't retested the lows here and that it hasn't filled the gap, this is, I would say, the bullish is bias. It's just consolidating sideways, and it seems very close to choosing a direction again. We have this. If it's down, most likely it actually goes for the gap fill, but still bullish longer term. BOIL. So I missed the bottom by one day, still had a 13% down day afterwards, but it was very close to the bottom. And it was an even higher volume down day, did not really see that coming. But like it was almost the bottom and then it turned bullish and it's probably gonna stay bullish. Just like oil breaking out is a sign of actually real inflation starting to come back up. Uh, Gas going up is the same thing. So I don't expect oil will stop anytime soon. It has a lot of upside from here, lots of gaps to fill. Velo 3D. So this one, the theory here was that it does a 50% retracement. This is the same theory as on Boeing. This is also 50%. No, this is 50% retracement, I think. But going back to Velo 3D, it did this. Now it's bullish and most likely will retest the highs at least. Zim also playing out relatively as expected. It took back the 23 level, 2250 level, sorry, 2272. It almost filled this gap, then coming back, most likely it's gonna turn this into a support and go back up, fill this gap, consolidate about a while in this range here, and then eventually go up. Actually, quite surprised it lost the trend line on RSI. A bit strange. Maybe it actually doesn't and goes for a retest of 20. This wasn't supposed to happen. It doesn't change the picture that much in the longer term, but it implies a retest of 20.5. Uh, for Baba, I think I deleted the. No, I didn't. I just hid them. So one option was a bounce here. The other option was a bounce around this level here, this other gap and this demand zone. So where the breakout happened. It had a big spike when the HSI had that big day, green day, the 4% green day, but it retraced everything. It even filled the gap and went. Well, no, it wasn't this one. It was this one. That was earnings. My bad. So this one, it gapped up here, filled it completely, even went a bit lower, and then still consolidating here. I still think it's bullish. No, not a lot to say otherwise. Kind of this is the same like this. Sophie didn't fill the gap. It basically bounced on this level. But there's it looks quite bullish. Like the downtrend is broken, the falling wedge. So this looks quite bullish. There's a lot of stuff that looks like this in the market. That's why I think the bullish run holds because while indices don't look that well, individual names look very good. But because we didn't have the gap fill and we didn't get as much energy, I think move up is capped at the recent highs. Maybe not even that high. Probably this where the wick started, like this. This is probably the maximum it can get to, and it will be divergent as well. Like we can already see that RSI won't be that high. Also, I'm just curious because of VWAP. Was this a VWAP retest? Let's say from here. No, it wasn't. But if we look from here, it was. So it was from when the move started, and it was almost a VWAP tag. The same principle applies for SPY. This was one leg up, second leg up, and when the second leg up ends, like we have in SPY, it should have a VWAP test of where the rally started. Gold. It is inverse DXY. It moved up more than DXY fell. I have no idea. DXY will move based on the economic data. So for Roblox, we had a situation or scenario where it bounces here, and the other one where it fills the gap. This is what Sophie was supposed to do as well, like go here and fill the gap and then bounce. Roblox did exactly this. It bounced. Also, notice this lower wick pattern that we have that looks similar to what we see in oil, and this is what I expect oil to do as well. One a move up. So we retest the highs and we take it from there. Most likely it will go up to retest 53. G is stubbornly bullish. I have no idea why. I still think it's kind of weak and this should see a pullback. So I'm moving this like this. No other changes. So lift, we were here expecting a retest of this low area support. It happened. Uh, We had a small green day on Friday. As soon as we break out of this area, we will surge up to 11. So I think this is bullish, uh, kind of movie like no more lows. I think we just go up. So it goes here, maybe it comes down, it's hard to tell. But once we break out of this gap level, and I think it's actually this here, and we start filling the gap, we won't stop. It will be either a slow grind up or a surge up to here. Uber refused to fill the gap as well. Let's test the VWAP theory again because same structure as the SPY rally on the hourly. First leg up, second leg up. Do we get the VWAP tag? Almost. And this one we move down, we move to the right. So I thought it would fill the gap here. It didn't, it almost did, but now we retest the highs. And it will also be divergent. Probably RSI will be around here when it does. So it can move up, but not that much. And the VWAP theory holds again. ANTM was the thing that was supposed to get an announcement. Okay, T-Box, sorry. I'll look at them in a minute. So this was supposed to have an announcement, apparent, and I joked about it looks like Aher, and it looked like this, and Aher cratered, and lo and behold, this one cratered as well. This doesn't look over. This is not a good look for the bounce, and most likely it will do this. And when it does this, it's a not fundamental good buy because I have no idea what the fundamentals are, but it's an excellent technical buy on this supply zone here. So if you want to own this ATNM, put an order at 730 and leave it there. Okay, and there were other stuff. Let's see. PFE, I'll add it here. Pfizer, CVS, X. I like Steel a lot. It's doing great. So, did I delete this one? No, I didn't. I just hit it as well. I thought we would bounce here. We didn't. This is a longer term supply level that I had drawn a long time ago. It's a weekly one. My bad. This is the weekly breakout. And it bounced pretty strongly off of the weekly demand zone. So I think it holds. This is possible now. We just move it here. The same kind of situation is likely going to play out. Pfizer is not the type of stock that surges a lot without news. I don't know if there's any news possible for it, so I'm expecting more of a slow grind up rather than a fast surge like this. This was like COVID news, COVID vaccine news and stuff like that. So something more along those lines of this, but maybe not that sharp. So 45 is the target. The shorter target, we'll see if we get to it in a couple of weeks. CVS. So I've been trying to get CVS to work for a while as well. It's just super fucking weak. But this high volume here, fact that it's in the supply zone as well, like we went to the bottom of it on the weekly. So a supply zone is the full candle of no the part of the candle which is full body before the breakout until the bottom of the wick. So this supply zone here starts here and goes down to here, and I extend it. So we went beyond it. Arguably we could include these things here as well, like go even further back and say the supply zone, the demand zone is actually this. Regardless, we're in it, but it's been super fucking weak. I don't really understand why. This looks like the downtrend is exhausted and we will finally start to go back up. So RSI super oversold as well. Slight bullish divergence. No, actually no, I'm lying. No bullish divergence because it's versus this. This was a bullish divergence here between between this and this, and it caused this small rally. Now we don't have a bullish divergence. But the fact that we have the volume spike, the candle is red, but it was still a green day, is a good sign. It either means downward exhaustion, or actually no, not either. It means downward exhaustion. So I expect this to start going up soon, just as Pfizer did, because healthcare is going up. What was the name? ETF, XBI. Biotech is going up. Everything is going up. And let's look at X. Actually, I'll look at steel in general. Uh, I mean, it's good that it got here, but I think this one is over. This is a supply zone, supply zone, not demand zone, a supply zone, and we're getting into it. Should see a rejection, and I don't like the volume not picking up as well either. Like we needed to see something like this or like this. Volume is not increasing at all on this run, and going into this big rejection zone is kind of iffy. Small pickup in volume on the weekly, but still just barely above average. Let me think a bit. Also trend line resistance. Like this. The midpoints align with bottoms. This looks pretty good for a channel. So we're getting to the top of the channel into a supply zone. I still see it as a bit bullish, but drop to 20 to fill this gap here. 1972 could easily happen. If it breaks out here, it's gonna go big, like retest the highs big. But I don't see it happening now. Like another move down. I go here, go down, and then start making higher highs, higher lows, and eventually doing this like this. I see it happen more plausible like this. But like I was saying earlier, this is the supply zone is not just this level. It's actually all of this. So starting from here until the top of the week. So given this, don't fall for a fake breakout. A fake breakout is a lot more dangerous in this situation. Like if we could do this as well, more more like this. This is quite possible. I actually recommend if we hit 24, I recommend taking profits full, and then just wait for a pullback. It will come. It's too overextended. So if CLF does this, most likely X is the same. I see the horizontal level. Which one is it? It's this one. This. And as a area, it's so getting into the supply zone after quite the rally. Yeah, very similar. Like I said, don't fall for a fake breakout. The risk for a fake breakout here is immense. And the support, the buy here, again, still this looks bullish, and with oil, with materials and energy inflation coming back up, this still should perform well. So I don't think this is a full breakdown, but just a short-term pullback before a larger-term breakout where we actually go for new highs. So in the short term, it will do this, bounce on the midpoint, continue doing this maybe for a couple of weeks, and eventually it will do the full breakout. And when it does the full breakout, target is 40, 43, 45, depends on when it happens, but above 40. Does that make sense? Yeah, so if I want to own X, I will put a buy order like 29, let's say. I don't I don't get a perfect feel, but it's still good. 28 if you want to get greedy. Anyway, this will be visible with the naked eye. You can decide on when it happens or if it happens. Yeah, so wanted to go over my general list of stuff of individual stock. I'll just do draw quick draw stuff. So we're breaking out, okay? Pennant, breakout, AMD. AMD is much better than Nvidia at current prices. This. If we break out, this will go crazy. Like coin. This is coin. It had this breakout day. It was 13, 14% at the top and closed as 9. It backtested it and it went back up. So this is kind of the breakout thing we shall see here. The only thing that stopped coin from going higher and going crazy was the fact that the market pulled back. Nvidia we talked about. Qualcomm looks fucking awesome. I think I am opening a position on Monday. I didn't want to do it on Friday because I expected a drop on Monday, and I didn't want to extra day of Theta Decay to add to my list. So Qualcomm looks absolutely amazing. When it breaks out, it should retest the highs. ASML, same situation. Like semis look good, all except Nvidia. I have no idea how Nvidia will behave in this circumstance. With other semis doing well, most likely good, but I just don't want to buy Nvidia being because it's too overvalued. Oh, and big bounce, it broke the downtrend. UMC, it's breaking out of a bull flag. INTC, even goddamn Intel is doing fine. Like it went to the supply zone, bounced again, might pull back because it's Intel, but it's still going up as well. And the first target is here. This is the breakdown level, a bit lower, a bit higher. It's here. So first level here. Retest this low, this horizontal level. Keep going. Do this. Do this. Go here. Even Intel. ADI broke the downtrend. I don't need to draw lines anymore, I hope. This one. Preparing to break the downtrend. These are all descending patterns. When we break out of them, things are going to be bullish. This is my main bullish thesis for the market because all of these things look very, very good. ASMH, it has a flag. This is a flag. Might not break out immediately, but if other things, if individual names do, this will do it as well. MU, high volume reversal after a gap down with a small continuation up. I think this will hold here. NXPY, bounce. TNX broke the downtrend. This one, like this. Marvel went down and the dip was bought big time. Like, look at this fucking volume. It was also selling, but more important is that it's the candle is green and the bounce was what? It was a 8% bounce. Wait, for the close. 7.15% bounce. That's a lot. This is a bullish sign. Just curious. It hit Bollinger Band 3. Bounce on 50 MA, 100 MA combo. Most likely this will retest the 200, and if it breaks through, it will go up quite a bit. Like, we do this, we do this, we double it. So target would be 50. Amat broke out before the market stopped going down, back tested and bounced strongly. Small follow up, also looks great. Other stuff, China stuff, let's see. Goto's doing crazy shit. This one broke the downtrend, bull flag. Broke the downtrend. XPEF broke the downtrend. Neo had a dip buy on earnings, I think. Where is Neo? Lee broke the downtrend. This would have been all the Chinese stuff would have been much higher if not for the US market being weak. Like as soon as the party thing goes away, it can get crazy for Chinese stuff. Almost a breakout. Dip was bought after disappointing earnings. If it takes this back, it has quite a bit to run. Like 12 is easily achievable for Neo. Let's look at some value stuff. Sorry, some oil. So this is a supply zone, demand zone, sorry. It stopped here, and on Friday it started going up again. I don't like oil equities as much as I like oil, but something like this is doable. SOM still doesn't want to capitulate. Nothing we can do about it. I wouldn't buy SOM. I would buy anything else aside from SOM. USO just follows oil. MRO, we went to the trend line again of the channel. Seems to have held. Maybe we get one last retest on Monday, like this, and then it goes up. FANG, more like this, but when it breaks out it will move, and most likely up. Oxy lost this channel. It's in the supply zone from here, the demand zone, sorry. I keep saying supply for support. Dip was bought here. Back test of the channel, and we'll see if it gets rejected or not. I don't think it will. Maybe this channel is not good. Maybe it's like this. And a bit higher. No, like this. Midpoint okay, midpoint okay. Maybe it's actually like this, yeah. And this wasn't a channel retest. So we're at the bottom of the channel. A gap to fill here. This looks quite good. Chevron is a midpoint retest. Look at this. Magic. Not magic. It was too late. But it looks like a 50% retracement. Let's see it. We're too many lines here. 50% is 65. No, it went below it, so it's a 38 retracement. 38 retracement with things starting to turn a bit bullish with oil, for oil. I don't like the big oil companies as much as the smaller oil companies. So XOM and CVX are the ones that I think are way too high for how good they're doing. It's still a decent hold here, but from a TA perspective, I'm not comfortable buying unless we go here. So below 150. PBR looks okay. So we double the channel because initially it was this. We doubled it approximately, hit the target, then recaptured it, turn it into support, retest it, and maybe it goes back up now. BTU is still shit. I mean, on paper it's good, but it's still not going places. This is not that bullish. We had that big earnings gap up, got rejected again, went down again, and now it's doing a very non-convincing rally, like more of this. It gives the same vibe as this, as this. This is not strong. I don't like it at all. Maybe it goes up, but I don't like it. VET finally looking like a bottom is nearby. We'll see what happens on earnings. The very nice buy point is when we break out here. But even within the bigger structure, we have this. And we just broke out on Friday. So theoretically speaking, we should hit this with the help of earnings. So like 16. I also have, hey Resident Dump, you're welcome. I like SWN a lot. So this had a downtrend, broke out, tried to go lower but held, and still going up. Why I like it a lot is because on the monthly, this is a major pivot point. So this looks like Bitcoin. Broke out, back tested, and the rally started here. Then it dropped. This was a major support. It bounced up. When we lost it big. It was a resistance here, went down, resistance here again, went down, broke out. When it broke out of through this level, it went up quite a bit. So this was because there are other candles, it doesn't seem that much, but this was a lot. So when we broke out of here, it went up 65%. And now it went back down, and it's interesting to see if it holds or not. But if this thing breaks through 578 again, it has a lot of room to go up. And I already drew it out here. I think if we Anonymous, you're welcome. So if we go through here, I think we'll see this. So how much is this in theory? 50%. So we're looking at 50% gains if oil starts going up again and as the Southwestern Energy goes up in tandem, and I think it will. DAC looks okay. Just consolidation period. A new pennant. Very close to making a move. Most likely up. ZIM, I looked at it. GSL. I like GSL. This is not done moving up. I think it will go higher. And this is not well placed. It's this. So 23 target. And reminder, as always, it's actually a zone, not that level specifically. It's anything in this area. But I would hold until it gets to 23 if already in a position. You see what happens on breakouts. Let's see if the channel gives us the same target. Not immediately. If we were to leave it until April, it would. No idea how fast or slow it would take to get there. But I was still like, if it goes this and it goes also the channel, it's a clear sell. Like does this. This is an overshoot, and most likely a big pullback will come. We put VWAP. Come on. And just estimate that it will be around here. So pull back to this area here, 20.5-ish, as low as 20. CCGJ. Breakout. Now it's a pullback. I think this was a 0.68 retracement. Not even that. No, no, it was. Yeah, exactly 61.8% retracement. And now it should go up, retest 32. Oh, healthcare. Yeah, because healthcare is going back up. So this is my biotech and healthcare list. And there were a couple of, yes, there will be a video. There were a couple of names that I really like. So first one is ALZN. This is the Alzheimer disease kind of thing play. And it just cratered probably because the results of a test weren't good. It has a huge bullish divergence. And just from a technical perspective, if it craters on earnings, so be it. But from a technical perspective, it should bounce up to 0.68. It doesn't have options if you want to trace it. I mean, it has options, but the lowest strike was like 2.5, so no fucking way it reaches that. You're just burning money. And the other reason why I thought it was a good play was that what's the name of the other Alzheimer drug company? I, I can't remember. Sava. No, Sava. I'm right, right? Cassava. Okay, so Sava is in the buy zone. This is demand zone, and lo and behold, it held and is starting back up. It's breaking the downtrend. You saw what happens when breakouts happened. So this is uber fucking bullish for Sava, and ALZN is a good play, just as a because Sava is a good play. It doesn't matter that this is a shit company and they don't have a product yet or a medication yet. It's gonna go up because Cassava means Alzheimer-based companies will go up, so ALZN will go up as well. It's good from a TA perspective as well, but I have no idea about fundamentals, what trials they're doing, and so on. So just FYI on that. But Cassava looks amazing both as TA, and I think they're one of the leaders in Alzheimer research. Okay, so this one I saw, Cassava, talked about it. Oh, I like Amgen a lot. So look at this huge bullish divergence here, both on the longer term and here on the short term. It's dropped a lot. This is a weekly demand zone. I think it's actually even a monthly demand zone. Nope, not really. Just weekly. And yeah, this is it. So we are at it. We had a first green candle with above average volume. Sorry. We have this huge downtrend here. I don't even know how to draw it like this, let's say. This looks pretty good. And I think it will eventually start going up with biotech and healthcare in general. Uh, Atosa, yeah, I think this was breast cancer research. Probably shit, but the TA says it's about to go up. BDX dropped and bounced a bit. This will go down again. This shit volume says it's temporary. Beam, like this, let's say. But we can also do this, and most likely it will start going up soon. There was a lot of them. This one as well, bullish divergence, both on the long run and the short term. BIIB, Biogen, same. BMI, same situation as, what was it? Amgen and CVS. It's in the supply zone, oversold. It, it will go up. Editas, about to break the downtrend. With a big falling wedge. This is this is the kind of move I want to see in stuff like Editas. Like you see this drop here, it was very similar to this. All these shit Biogen stocks will will do are likely to do this kind of move because they didn't get like this by mistake. They were shorted the fuck out. So they did a bad trial, has some bad news, people shorted them. So that's why they always do this kind of move. Like look, if we look in the past, we will see they're super fucking common. Like big drop, big rally. Even ignoring this part, like they have a couple of days of big rallies, like plus 12%, plus 7% here as well. These are all short covering rallies. They're not fundamental rallies. Even this one here, this is a short covering rally. There is no reason to for this stock to go up 8% and 10% without any news. And most likely they don't have news. Or they have news that triggers short rallies, uh, not fundamental base rallies. And if you look at all of this, they're shorted the fuck out. If the market gives a sign that it wants to be bullish, uh, I'll look at right in a second. Look, Sherker, big fucking drop, big rally. Now a big drop, big rally coming. Skin, talk. Let's see what else do we have. UNH, and I wanted to put BNTX and what was the other one? Moderna. They look very similar. Also shorted the fuck out. It could potentially it could drop a bit more, but if the whole market starts going up, they will start going up as well. And this will be a short rally, not a fundamentals rally. Okay, right. I'm reluctant to talk about Riot because it depends on crypto. Like, there is no actual TA on this. And we look at crypto, and it's not that rosy. I think it's on the brink of starting another leg down. Like, if we look at the hourly, this is not what I would say as confidence inspiring. And it's, let's say, this, and this. I don't know. So it's kind of breaking down already. What I kind of expect is, and also because other names are already doing this. Matic is doing it. Avax started doing it, but not quite there. Vet started doing it. IOTA started doing it. is doing it. Uni is doing it. DOT is doing it. XRP isn't doing it. BNB is getting there. Sorry. So, like, misclicking. So if all the crypto shitcoins start taking out the lows here, there we're gonna have another big candle like this. Doge is going there. EGLD isn't yet. Solana is doing the XMR is not doing it. ADA not quite there. ETH not quite there, and Bitcoin not quite there, but leaning towards dropping. So Riot will do what Bitcoin does, most likely. I mean, on a considering Friday was -5 on Bitcoin, I think, on the daily, -473. That's not really true. And Riot was 2.659. Well, let's draw it. So it's there, here, and like this. So this will most likely down. And when it goes down, this is the buy. So first one is here, 428, and but the one I like more is 349. That's 50% drop. Well, yeah, maybe it even does a fake out and stops here. It depends on Bitcoin. Like if Bitcoin does like a minus 10% day, it probably drops a lot. If it doesn't, not that much. Like this, with the worst case scenario being this. I talked about them. I'll duck like this and Zim. Well, the thing I don't like about Zim is that it didn't hold here. So this kind of insinuates we go lower, but I can draw a pennant as well. So it's at the bottom of the pennant. Now that I looked at DAC, we can do this. If it breaks down, it will retest this low, like 20, between 20 and 2030. Okay, anything else you guys would like me to look at? Let's look at yields. Pretty scary for yields here. I would say that we're still in a hold of this channel. We can definitely go back up on Monday, but not looking that good. Still, I would be surprised if it goes below 391. this level should hold, and we're still bullish longer term. In a second, I'll look at the quite nice. This looks very good. So first of all, let's take it one at a time. So we put this level here, horizontal level. I'll move it to the left to get an idea. And then we have inverted head and shoulders, bullish. We have cup and handle, let's say, with the handle already happened. So this was probably 50% or yeah, almost 50%. So this is what I like to see on cup and handles. So basically we go up. I'll draw it the other way around so that it makes sense, more sense. So I, for cup and handles, when you reach the threshold of the breakout, you usually see a 50% retracement. This is exactly what we saw here, 50% retracement. Now we're back at the highs. I don't think it breaks through immediately, but this is quite promising. And the upside is huge. Like the upside is a double of this. So 71 times 2. No, wait, it was, no, 24 times 2, sorry, my bad. So 48, around this. Yeah, this seems quite okay. This is the breakout level, where the 82, the supply zone. This is where it broke down. So we tried to hold, and then what? Bam! One big candle down, and it's the breakdown. This means there are sellers here who didn't get to sell. So when price will get to this level, those sellers will immediately sell and cause it to reject. No. So how I think this plays out is we get a slow-ish breakout. So we go here for sure, go sideways for a bit, and then it just goes. And this is air. So once it clears this high, as you can see, there's not a lot here. So above from 66 to 82, it will do it in like 3 weeks. But this part here is the toughest one, the initial breakout. Then we get an impulse up to here, stabilization up and down in these ranges, and then bam, another surge. Yeah, I really like energy and metals and all of that. That is what will actually cause the resurgence in inflation. This services shit is nothing. It's just the old inflation wave just playing out. This is not the new inflation wave. This is the old one. But when AA does what I said it will do, that will be the new wave of inflation. When CLF goes to all-time high, not all-time high okay, because its all-time high was super high, but when CLF also does this and goes here, That's the second wave of inflation. When oil's back goes back to the high from last year, that's the second wave of inflation. I looked at ENPH, nothing really different. It broke out. It should swing a bit around here and then go up. Oh, I wanted to show solars. So SCDG, pretty bullish. It will depend on the sector as a whole, but this is kind of an ascending triangle. The fact that if it goes down one more time and it doesn't break down, like a bounce here will cause a breakout. And most likely we retest this highs. If it breaks down, kind of here, this is the demand zone. Gap as well. Maybe even here. So 200 is the lowest possible. But this looks more bullish than bearish to me. So maybe another drop to this trend line. And if it doesn't break down, it's gonna go up to 376. JKS, sorry, another one which broke the downtrend. I wanted to show FSLR. Look at this fucking thing. It just won't die. I can't wait for it to crater. Yeah, and it is in. It was supposed to be rejected here. If it's not here, it's gonna be here. 251. It's still possible that it gets rejected here. So if on Monday we have a super red dildo that takes us back in the channel, most likely this will eventually break down. So yeah, but if it doesn't, 250 and then it dies. If it doesn't die at 250, I don't know what I'll do. I'll no idea. But I want it to die. Let's look at wing. Well, this looks more promising for dying. This rejection candle here. No, it's not. From the daily, the next tag will be the death of it. So from it, assuming the market will be bullish, it goes here, maybe as high as 200 again. This was a 200 rejection. No, 193. Let's go for the full blow off top. So 200, and then this. No fucking way this goes higher. Incredible. How did they do on earnings? I didn't follow it. That's a big bit. Yeah. Okay, I'll show you guys the delta stuff and then we wrap it up. Can you see what I'm looking at the images with the delta and the OI? No answer. Nope. Okay. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Apparently, apparently my computer froze for a second there. Uh, yeah. So what I was doing, I was talking about showing the delta. Okay, so this is for next week. This is the OI for next week. So we have a bunch of puts for 410, lots of lots of puts for 410 as the biggest wall to the upside, and then just the usual stuff to the left of price below 400. And in delta, we see that wall of 410 of puts. That kind of are the things that will get the hedge if you go above it. Other than that, it's mostly call delta. So we turn bullish again, and from the positioning, and it looks quite promising for the bull case. Then for if we add the OPEX, this is the OI for OPEX and the delta situation for OPEX. Still 410 as the biggest put, as one of the biggest put levels because it combines with next week. But besides that, it's just 400. Nothing really to say that we can go up or that we can go down. And this is until the end of the quarter. We lose like 50% of, not 50%, 30% of OI on this expiration, like versus how much we have. This is delta until the end of the quarter. And this is by expiration. I wanted to show, one second. I wanted to show how I do the forecast for the delta, the price ranges. So in the document, I calculate delta automatically based on a formula in Excel. It's not perfect, but it's ballparkish good enough. And I wouldn't say that, but I think we continue going up based on the current positioning. Like we can go down, we can go up. Positioning won't stop either of them. It's more about what the market does based on the economic calendar. So this is where we are now. So the price of 404.73, which is the post-market price for SPY. This is the positioning. So we look at this. So let's put 420.01 because if I put 420, both puts and calls would be in the money, and it's a bit strange. So if we go to 420, we'll be 90% bearish. So we'll be in the 91st percentile as a bullish positioning or overbought positioning. So this is generally a reversal point. We can't really go too much higher than this. And the gap fill is 421.22. If you put exactly this one, it's 91.10, no big difference. At point 25, we're 95th percentile, I think. 93 and average is 100. Uh, and then on the downside, the where it gets super oversold is below 380. So let's put 379.99. And it's 6.57%. So below 380, we're in the what 93rd percentile oversold. If we go below 370, I think it was 4% or something. This is extremely oversold, 4%. In the lowest point was the June bottom. It was actually it was zero because it was relative to everything else. But everything since then hasn't even gone below 10. And even like if we were to lose 390, 389.99, it puts us at 10%. 1090. So more or less, probably 385 is equivalent to getting above 420. Not a lot of room to drop, but there is more room to go down than to go up. Let's put this back to what it was. And let's look at SPY a bit. So we can hide this. Don't remember where I had it. Oh no, it was on the US 500. Hide everything. This was the thing I mentioned with the continuation after OPEX. So the theory was if a move around quarterly OPEX, uh, a directional move starts, it will continue until the end of the quarter. This was exactly after OPEX. It held until the end of the quarter. Actually, if we consider the reversal, it was after the new month started. Same thing here. This started in the week of OPEX. It continued until the end of the month. Same here. Started around OPEX, on exactly on OPEX. It continued until the end of the month. Saw a reversal, and then only after the month ended. Same here. Started at OPEX. It went down, reversed at the turn of the month. And in December, the same thing. So I expect something similar to happen here. And given that we don't have that much room to go up, I think we may continue up until OPEX, get that 420 tag relatively quickly, and then reverse down and start going down. And how low we go, don't really know, can't really. It's too unknown. Oh, my bad. Back to scene one. Okay, I'll show it again. So this was the quarterly continuation theory, in which if a directional move starts at OPEX, around quarterly OPEX, it continues until the end of the current month. And we have December 2021, which shows this. We have March 2022, which shows this. We have June, which shows this as well. We have the next September, which shows it, and December. And we're getting close to a quarterly OPEX. I was saying that my expectation is that we will get to 420 uh, by March OPEX, and then we turn then and start going down until the end of the quarter because we would lose a lot of bullish flows on quarter end. Another thing to note is that the let's call it the double dip on the month turn, which is this. So this is the end of the month, yeah, September. We reversed, had a bounce, but the beginning of the month levels were retested around mid-month. And then whatever happens, happens. October as well. October ended, we went down, and then we retested the highs and even went a bit higher around mid-month. In December, what is it? 1st of December. We went down, we went back up. So I kind of expect in the idea that we will retest the 400 again. I think for sure this was the start of the month. We will go back up. These lows will almost certainly be tested at some point this month, and maybe then we bounce again. This could be like Monday and Tuesday. It doesn't have to be a lot, but even if we go up again, most likely we will retest these lows at some point in March again. So we cannot really go up a lot because flows don't permit it. We're already at 405, let's say, almost at 405. So upside is $15. On the other hand, downside is much more permissive of where we can go down, and that would be around 370, like I said. But equities have been very stubborn, so don't know exactly how this will play out. It's still a volatile period, and it's impossible to predict accurately. The the ballpark I do is still guesswork at the end of the day. Okay, so if you guys don't have any other things that you'd like me to look at, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll leave a minute or two for the final questions, if there are any. You're welcome. I'll try to do it more structured next time. Like this, the streaming thing is more freeform and I jump around a lot. Uh, if I do videos, I'll keep them short. Thank you as well. My God, Lucid filled the gap from not gap, but retraced all the move from the Emirates news or the investor news. It should start going back up again as well. This is surprisingly okay for Rivian. big dump for Petra. No, I didn't look at TLT. Let's see. TLT is 20-year bonds. Hmm. Quite a bit of volume on Friday. So people are happy with 4% plus 20-year bonds apparently. Let's look at the 20-year. The thing that bugs me around about yields and bonds, like this is what in theory it should do to allow for the rally to happen. Yeah, it's wait, it's this. So we had this big move in bonds. This is a 10-year. 7%, 7.85. And the response from equities was dropping only 4.64. And then bonds do a small pullback, like 1.39%, to which the response from equities is to rally 2.35. So equities dropped lower than bonds went up, down, sorry, went down. And when uh, yields pull back a bit, equities just explode higher. This is a market that really wants to go up. Okay, time to call it a day. Thanks for watching, and I'll hear from you guys later. Bye bye.